Hi there. Today, I'm going to do a Python bot. So I'm quite into badminton, right? And one of the things I've realized recently is that it's actually quite hard to get an available court to play badminton. And it's very stressful sometimes because you want to find something and you have to be quick to book it. So why not create a Python bot that will make my life easier and find the available slots and book it for me? So what I'm going to do today, I'm not going to do a full Python bot, but I'm going to do the core aspect of this Python bot. So I'm going to create a small Python script, which will allow me to search for available dates for playing badminton. Okay. And with that information, I can, of course, create another script to book it, or I can create, I can do many things with that information. But the most important bit to start is to make sure that you can scrape the information from the bookings website, and then you can make use of that information to do whatever you need to do. So let's get started. So I do have an account in a website, and I'm going to try and log into that website with my credentials. I've already stored my credentials in a file. These are credentials actually they only use for this website. I don't use it for anything else, but I'm not going to put the password in the code. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to import all the different libraries that I need. Okay, the Selenium Webdriver, which is going to allow me to control a browser. I'm going to import the Chrome driver binary. I'm not going to show you how to install this because I have many other videos where I do the same. I'll put the link in the description and also a link to an article where you can actually just follow the steps to get your environment up and running. I'm also going to use Pandas library. Let's run this. So I've imported the library successfully. And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to open a web browser, Chrome in this case. Okay. And I'm going to set something really important, implicitly wait. This method actually will configure 10 seconds as the timeout. So whenever I open a page and I look for something in that page, for example, a link, I'm going to wait up to 10 seconds until that link appears. Okay. And I'm going to copy a URL to my website. And now I'm going to open that website here. Okay. So let's do that. So I should be able to see a browser opening. All right, so now I have a browser and you can see this is the website on my leisure center, okay? This is where I normally log in and I go and make a booking, and then I check what is available, and then based on what's available, I will book something. And yeah, that's normally what I do, okay? So what I want to do is automate this process. For now, I just want to check what courts are available and when. Okay, so now what I need to do is to log in. I would put my email address here. That's how it works, and then a password, okay? So let's automate this. So I'm going to check the fields here. Okay, I have the email address. So the email address is, I can reach it via this ID. Okay. And then I have the password. Okay, the password. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to just try and type something into this fields using Selenium. Okay. So the email address field is, I need to find it. and I'm going to use, in this case, XPATH. But I could also use find element by ID. It's just the same. So here I'm looking for an element with ID equal to account login email. Okay. I have to be careful with these quotes, right? So I started this string with a single quote, okay? And I have to end it with a single quote. And then because I have another string inside which requires quotes, I need to use double quotes instead. If I had started this string with double quotes, then it would have been the opposite, okay? All right, so now, okay, it seems like this is not a valid expression. I think I missed something here. Okay, I missed the square brackets. So I need to try again. Okay. Again, I'm not getting it right because I forgot. I put the quotes in the wrong place. Okay. So like this should work. No? What did I do wrong? Oh, I see. I'm missing here. There should be a star because I don't care about what type of element it is. But if I wanted to care, the element here is an input. So I can put, instead of a star, which means any type of HTML markup, I can just do input. Okay. So I'm searching for an input with an ID of account login email. And now it should hopefully work, but it seems like it's not. Oh, it is. Okay, it's worked. Okay, now that I have access to the login field, I can actually type something there. So let's type something. So email address. In this case, to type something, I need to use send keys. And then I'm going to just say an email at mail.com. And you'll see that this should type something there. Okay. And you can see an email at mail. I've added some invalid character, right? But it's typing whatever I say to type here. Okay, so it's working. Now I need to do the same thing for the password. So the password has a field called account login password. Okay, let's do the password. So password, account login password. And then any password. For now, I don't care about the password, okay? So now, and I think it worked, but I did it in the wrong field. Okay, because I did a copy and paste and I forgot to change here. So now it should work. Okay, so it's putting the password here. Okay, so now I have a way to fill in the details of the username and password. And now I just need to find a way to click the login button. To do that, so I can use the span here. Okay, so the span is here, but I want the button actually. So I want the button. But looking at this button, the only field I can find that I could search on maybe is the data test ID. Okay. But I'm going to do something a bit different here, right? I'm going to use this because it has an ID. I can easily search for it and I know I'm going to get it. And I'm going to try and get the parent element, in this case, the parent, which is the button. I think this is only, yeah, this is the parent element is the button. So I'm going to try and get the button via the login button. So let's do that. Okay, so submit login button equal to web browser dot find element by XPATH. And then I'm going to specify the span here. Okay. And then the ID. And then the ID is equal to account login submit message. And then I close it. And then I'm going to have to get the ancestor. This is a bit complicated XPath, but it's all documented in the XPath documentation. And then this is the ancestor button, right? The square brackets is already there. Okay. So this should work. I'm just getting lost. I think I should use single quotes here. Then I should use single quotes because I started the string with single quotes, so I need to end it with single quotes. Okay, so let's see. Okay, it seems like it found it. So I'm going to do submit login button dot click. Okay. Okay, it didn't like my email address. Let me try that. Make sure that everything is filled in correctly. Okay, now it's able to call the login button, but it doesn't, of course, this account doesn't exist. Okay, so the next step, I'm going to actually put my login details here. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure I get the login details from a file. Okay, because I don't want to put my password and username in the code. Yeah, that would be a bad idea. So I'm just going to open a file. A very simple way to open a file. What this does, this line here reads a file which has my username and password. This username and password is only unique for this website. I don't share with anything important, right? I always generate passwords nowadays, and I think everyone does that. But regardless, I don't want to put the password here because it could be insecure. Someone might be able to steal it. With this, if I place my password in the file, at least I can encrypt it, and it will be safer. Okay, so this line here is reading a line from the file, and it's splitting. The username is on the left-hand side, and then the password is on the right-hand side. So it's splitting that, and it's putting it into a dictionary. Okay, with this dictionary created, instead of just hard coding the email address, I can just say credentials, username. Okay, and then the same thing for the password, credentials, and then password. Okay, it's all good. So now let me try again and see if I can log in. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now I need to, it doesn't do something which is important. It doesn't clear the previous inputs. Before I set the username, I'm going to make sure it's clear first. Okay, let's see if that works. Yeah. And now the same for the password. If something is already written there before, I don't want to duplicate it, because otherwise the login doesn't work. Okay, now the password is correct, and I should be able to log in. Let's try. All right, so I was able to log in. Of course, there's some details here. I had to blur it, right? So I don't want to give you my confidential data. But this is a real account, so you know. Okay, so now we are in the right place, and now we need to make a booking.